Okay, so this evening, and let me say this too. Yes, I'm wearing this black shirt. You guys actually can't see it, but it's actually it's my company shirt. So it has Realizing Your Potential on it. See, with the little logo and everything. See? So yes, I'm gonna be wearing this shirt all the time. Just so y'all know, it's not like, oh, she don't, you know what I mean? I'm just very proud and excited about my company shirt. So yeah. All right. So again, my name is Jacqueline Kabay Harrison. I am a confidence and success coach. I work specifically with African American women that have coaching and or consulting businesses. I help them to show up boldly, consistently, and with intention in their coaching and or consulting business. More specifically, I work with women to help them eliminate all of that negative self-talk and the self-sabotaging behaviors that basically prevent you from leveling up your business. So tonight's discussion is about the importance of taking action. Okay, let me say it again. The importance of taking action. Now, there's a number of reasons why, some of us don't take action, right? There's a number of reasons. So it could be fear, the fear of failure, the fear of success. It could be the fear of what other people are going to think about what we're doing, or basically the judgment of others, right? Some of it is perfectionism. We feel like we don't want to act because we feel like it's not right. It's not perfect, right? We're still fine tuning. We're still shaping up this. We're still modifying that, right? So there's a number of reasons why we don't take action. Okay. Oh, you know what? Also, too, like with this, it's like I can't tell. Oh, hey, how are you? It's like when I'm looking at the laptop, like I can't tell who it is. I have to actually look at I have to look at my phone. But how you doing? You been okay? All right, all right. I hope everything is good. So there are a number of reasons why we fail to take action or why we procrastinate, right? There's a number of reasons. I'm not really getting into the reasons per se. I just listed a few, but I wanted to talk more about, because these are very brief, guys. These are very brief. But I wanted to talk about just the importance of taking action. Just that one statement, the importance of taking action. And the thing of it is, haven't you, and I'm pretty sure I've done it in the past. You probably have done it. You probably know other people that have done it. You see somebody and they make a New Year's resolution. And I always like to use that as an example, because I think it's very typical, and I think everybody can relate to this example. So New Year's resolutions. Also, let me throw this out there too. Please tag a coach and share the video out. Okay. Somebody else could benefit from this message. Somebody else could be on the verge of throwing in the towel, So please tag a coach or consultant and share the video out. And leave whatever questions or comments you may have for me in the comments, and I'll definitely get back to you. So New Year's resolutions, right? A lot of times we get, people get excited, they get motivated, right? They say they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they just don't do it. It could be going to the gym. It could be eating healthier, right? So they're not taking action. Whatever that goal is that they have, spoke out into the universe that they were going to do, we're going to start doing, they don't do it, right? So sometimes the hardest part of it all is to take action, is to start taking action. Sometimes that's the most difficult part of it. So I challenge you to make a new habit of taking action. Make a new habit of not procrastinating, right? Make a new habit of getting an idea, right? Yes, I'm not saying just to run out and do something and don't put any thought into it. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is that think of that idea, write it down. When you get excited, how you get motivated, and then you wait and it kind of fizzles out little by little. maybe, you start all that negative self-talk starts, or you mention it to somebody and they say, oh, well, that doesn't make sense, or that's not going to work. And then little by little, you kind of fizzle down, so to speak, right? To the point where you're not even motivated about it anymore. You don't even think, that you can carry it out, or that it's feasible, or that it's realistic. So if you get into a habit of taking action, right, you won't fizzle out. If you come up with something, and let's just say it's a thought, something that you thought about, I don't know, over the past year, from time to time, but you just never took any action. Once that thought comes, take action. Let's say if you want to start a podcast, I don't care if it's midnight and you watching, I don't know, a TV show. Let's say you're watching a movie, and in the movie, the person starts a podcast, or something happens and it triggers that thought. Get up right then and start that podcast, or do the research. Maybe you already know how to start it. If you do, go ahead and start it. If you don't know, start the research right then. Get you an account, set up an account, right? Or if you want to start, I don't know, maybe a Facebook business page, just start it. You don't have to have all the answers. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start it, and begin to make a new pattern of taking action, right? People always talk about, I'm making boss moves, and I'm moving and shaking, and, living my best life, things along those lines, right? Become that person that takes action. And you'll find that you'll be a lot more motivated, you'll be a lot more focused, and you'll be a lot more productive, right? If you get into that habit of taking action. Again, for me personally, I know I'm a perfectionist. So what I had to tell myself was that it's not going to be perfect. And the reality is it's never going to be perfect, right? There's always going to be, oh, I could tweak that, or oh, I could have did that better, or maybe if I had just prepared my notes, or if I had done this, or if I had done that, the launch would be more successful. Yes, all of that is true. But the more you do it, the more practice you get. So don't get into the habit of thinking that it has to be perfect. It has to come out the exact way that you want it to the very first, second, or third time that you do it. Just get into the habit of taking action. And when you begin to get into the habit of taking action, right, like I said, so many positive things will come along with that. You will increase your self-confidence. You will, you'll be more motivated. You'll be more productive, right? Motivated, productive, more focused, right? When you create that habit of taking action and get it through your head that it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect. However, when you act on it, right, and put it out there, you make changes as you go along, right? You do something and you get the product out there, and based on the response, right? Based on the response, how you feel doing it, maybe comments from others, so on and so forth, you begin to tweak it, right? Now you know more of what you don't want to do and more of what you're going to do, right? And you wouldn't have gotten that information or even tested that information, gotten that feedback if you hadn't put it out there, right? You could still be somewhere, oh, that's not quite ready. Oh, let me change this. Oh, that's not quite ready. The font on this PDF is too small. Let me change it. I don't like the color on it, or it doesn't jump out at you, right? And next thing you know, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year have gone by, and you haven't put out the PDF, right? You don't have a lead magnet to use to create your funnel system. So again, this is just one tip, but even with this one tip, you can create such a change in your business, well, in your life as well as your business, right? But I'm just focused on business right now. But that one step can change so much tremendously for you, right? Just the idea of getting into creating that habit of taking consistent, intentional action, right? Because it's going to be intentional if you know what you want to do, if you have a clear goal. That's a whole nother subject in terms of, developing clear, feasible goals with timelines and so forth. That's a whole nother subject. But if you have a clear goal, you're able to take intentional action, right? And if you make it a new habit to take action, then you're going to be consistent because you're making a new habit to take consistent, intentional action. So figure out what that long-term goal is, and whatever you want to do in your business every quarter, let's just say, whatever you want to do, whatever goals that you're setting for yourself for the quarter, to know what those goals are, be very clear on what those goals are. And at that point, you'll be able to plan out your consistent action or your consistent intentional action and just get into a habit. And before you know it, right, it'll feel weird not to take action. It'll feel weird to just sit on something, just sit on it, because at that point, you've created a whole new pattern for yourself, right? A whole new pattern. And I'm telling you, it's like, once I kind of got out of the habit of everything has to be perfect. Oh, hi, how are you? You doing all right over there in the NYC? So once you get out of that habit that everything has to be perfect, I'm telling you, it's so freeing. It's so freeing from a recovering perfectionist. And I still backslide every now and again. But that whole idea of it doesn't have to be perfect is so freeing. For those of you out there that are perfectionists, or like I said, perfectionists in recovery, please leave that in the comments, because I know, and especially we as Black women. Oh, hey, how you doing, Damon? Especially us as women, right? We have a tendency to be so hard on ourselves, and we hold ourselves to a very high standard, and which is good to have standards, but I don't want you to hold it so much to the point where you're not doing it, to where you're becoming immobilized, right? To where you are not sharing your gift, where you are so, holding back that you internalize it and you become anxious, you become depressed, you become unfulfilled, you just going through the motions, right? So just get into the habit of making consistent, intentional action. And again, that'll be easier to do if you have a clear plan, right? Now, of course, some of that has to do with you just sitting down in your own quiet time and just really thinking about it. Like, what vision do you have? What do you want to see happen? What do you see yourself in 3 years? What do you see yourself in 5 years? 10 years, right? What's that long-term goal? What feels good to you? What have you done so far in your business that's working? You're like, dang, I like this, right? And then there's other things you're like, not so much, right? So take a note of that. Take a note of that. And once you do that, sometimes we may need to sit with the business strategist, somebody to kind of sit down and talk about different marketing strategies, talking about, all of that, the business stuff. I'm not a business strategist, so I know I've worked with a couple, but they can help you become clearer on your ideas and how, not necessarily in your ideas per se, because you'll know what you want to do and who you want to reach, and who your target population is and what you want to help them with, or what problem you want to solve for them. However, they can help you with the specifics, right, about how to go about it. And bringing all of that together, you'll have more of a clear, concise, long-term goal. And then from there, it's easier to create action steps, right? And once you create those action steps, get into the habit of taking consistent, intentional action. I'm telling you, it's wonderful. I'm getting ready to plan a summit now that I do quarterly, and I'm doing it in January. So, I do it January, May, and September. And this is like, I'm using this software that I've never used before, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to read the tutorials and just get in there and just figure it out as I go along. Like, that's something like 10 years ago, I would have never done that. I would have had to be studied on it and practice, and this and that and the other, but it's like, again, I know it doesn't have to be perfect, and it's not going to be perfect, you know, and I'm going to learn from it. So the next time I do it, when I do it again in May, it'll be even better. When I do it again in September, it'll be even better than that, you know. So consistent, intentional action. So that's my message for this evening. Again, my name is Jacqueline Kabah Harrison. I am a confidence and success coach, and I work with African American women that are coaches and or consultants, helping them to show up boldly and consistently in their coaching and or consulting businesses, allowing them to increase their productivity, and last but not least, their profitability, right? So at any rate, I'm gonna end on that note. This is Evening Motivation with Jackie, and it happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So share the video out, tag a coach or consultant, please. Somebody else may need to hear this message. Okay, and with that, I am out.